Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking PnB Rock. He was killed in L.A. yesterday, robbery for his chain. And we were talking about how things have to change, right? 800-585-1051.
By the way, it feels like we have this conversation every few months. Somebody that we know has, gotten gunned down for nothing. We have these conversations every time there's a senseless act of violence, which is every day.
Yeah, and this is my problem. A lot of times when we hear things like that, people make excuses, right? They talk about everything under the sun, right? Whether, the environment that's out there right now, the fact that, we're in a recession, the fact that, they say his girlfriend posted that they were there. They talk about all those different things, and it always bothers me because I always feel like we don't talk about the fact that no matter what, they took that man's life over a piece of jewelry.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, you got to send positive energy to the family of that brother, PnB Rock.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's number one. And, like I said earlier, I wish at times like this we did discuss the actual issue of what we are doing to each other in our communities and why, because the issues to me are gun violence. The issues to me are lack of opportunity and income, lack of employment, lack of love for your fellow man. Some people got mental health issues. You got drug use. And you're right, discussing his girl, posting his location, that's a topic, not the actual issue, because the people who did that to him would do that regardless of who posted what, all right? Not to mention, you think people in Roscoe's couldn't have had that brother, lined up?
That's facts.
And that's why when we have these conversations, situations like this, we got to discuss how things are and not how things should be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you're operating from the perspective of how things should be, then these things will continue to happen, and you're setting yourself up for failure because we got to start moving and responding to these situations based on what we know to be true, not what we want to be true. Yeah, you would love to wear your jewelry and drive your cars anywhere you want to and pull up where you want to, but that's not the reality of life. You know you can't do that. And if you do, there's going to be consequences and repercussions. Right.
But that shouldn't be the case, right? And people talk about it's a matter of people want fast money a majority of the time, right? You talk about there's not jobs. Just a couple of months ago, Angela reported that, there was so many jobs and people didn't want to work. Because a lot of times people want fast money. They don't want the grind of starting from working at fast food or the grind at working at Target or the grind at working at Walmart. When they see somebody walking around with a $100,000 chain, and to them it's like, oh, I could just take this chain right here.
Yeah.
And that's my year's salary.
Yeah.
But that's not the mentality that we need.
Sometimes also these people that are doing these things aren't even necessarily people who are starving. Think about the people who rob people or set people up or do these scams, and they don't come from a bad family. They don't have, those issues that we can assume that somebody who's like seeing that person has more than me, I'm starving out here. Sometimes that's not even the case.
Yeah,
but I will say that, like, I look at myself, I live in Brooklyn still, and I walk around, I do what I have to do, but I also am like, I don't have expensive jewelry. I've never really, because I don't feel safe that way, personally. So if somebody tries to do something to me, I don't really have anything for you to take.
Well, see, I just really want us to start dealing with these situations based on what we know to be true and not what we want to be true. Because what's true is there is no code. There's never been a code. Folks are ruthless and cutthroat and will kill you if you have something they want. It's just that simple. We got inflation through the roof right now, poverty through the roof. The gap between the haves and have-nots is greater than it's ever been. So you factor in that with lack of income, like I said, and lack of education, lack of community support, and then people just being plain evil. And you have a generation of people who don't know how to balance what they are seeing every day on social media versus what they are dealing with in real life. All of that is a recipe for disaster. Envy, you talk about people not wanting to take the long route. Why would I want to take the long route if I get on social media and I see people just holding up stacks of cash and everybody looking like they got rich overnight? Why do I got to take the long route?
Because it's the right thing to do. Like,
it is.
It's it's easy to rob. Well, I'm going to say it's easy to rob somebody, but yeah, that's the easy route, to go rob somebody, get something. But that's the right thing to do. Work for what you got. Like, I tell a story in my book where, I think it was like 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, 13 years, I think it was like 13 years ago, somebody robbed me, all right? Robbed me in the city. And now this is another thing. The first thing when you get robbed is to fight back. That's what I did, right? I fought back and I chased the kid and I caught the kid that robbed me. The kid that robbed me actually won the lotto a week before.
How much did he win?
I think it was like he won $80,000 the week before. But it was an opportunity that he felt. He seen me. He thought I was slipping and he robbed me. I chased him and I caught him. But The thing is, he just had $80,000. There was no reason to. He didn't need the money. He wasn't messed up.
He wanted more.
He was driving an X5.
Well, listen, you know what's so funny?
But that's the problem. He did not want to work for it. He felt like this was the easy way, and he was going to try to do it that way.
You know what's interesting? What you said is absolutely true, right? But you're saying to yourself, why would he rob me if he just won $80,000 the week before? That's what people would say about brothers who be in the hood with all their jewelry on and those big cars. Why are you in the hood with all his jewelry on and all of these big cars? You have no reason to be here. Same reason that guy had no reason to rob you, you had no reason to be there. I just want to know, why do we continue to put ourselves in harm's way? And if you do want to be in the hood, why aren't you with security?
I get it, but, driving through the hood is not illegal.
I ain't say driving through the hood.
But robbing somebody at gunpoint and
absolutely.
sticking them
But
up
you didn't answer the question. Why aren't you with security?
Sometimes artists look at that as also being like inspirational. Like I remember when we opened the juice bar in Bed-Stuy and 50 Cent came and, obviously all of the locks were there. Jeezy was there, and how much it meant to the kids in the neighborhood to be able to see them. Like you would never think you would see them.
That's a false equivalency though, because you opened a business. Like somebody opened a business in the hood. That's a big difference between just sitting in the hood with all your jewelry on in a big car for no reason.
And 50 had like 20 people with him just in case.
Yeah,
you know why? Because 50 is.
But I am saying that sometimes artists look at it like, I don't want to never go back places. I want people to be able to see me and be inspirational. Because some people look at it as inspiration.
You should go back, but if you go back, don't just go back for no reason. Don't go back just because you want to just sit up in the hood and have a meal. And if you are going to do that, where is your security? And we're also the generation, not the generation, but we also have a culture where we like to. Oh, I'm in the hood with all my jewelry on and no security. That is nothing to brag about.
People want to feel like they're comfortable where they're from. But the problem is, most people can't afford security, 24-hour security.
If you can't afford to protect it, then you can't afford to wear it.
And you know that. Like, people, they'll get a check and they'll go get a piece of jewelry because they feel like they need that for their rap career, right?
If you can't afford to protect it, you can't afford to wear it.
They need it for their rap career. But you can't. Most people can't afford 24-hour security. Most of your favorite rappers can't afford 24 hours.
You don't
security.
have to be 24 hours, but those couple hours you sitting in that place, you should have your security. If you can't afford to protect it, then you can't afford to wear it. And if you're going to be out like that in areas like that, hire the proper security. And I'm not talking about the homies. I'm talking about Israeli trained former police officers, former military style security. Okay. Once again, if you can't afford to protect it, then you can't afford to wear it.
Yeah, I get that, but also you shouldn't feel like you have to rob your brother to take something.
Man,
because
Envy,
you're jealous of
once
what
again,
they have.
We have to start moving and responding to these situations based on what we know to be true, not what we want to be true.
But these feelings and these cowards and these guys feeling like boys because somebody has something better than me, I have to take it, is a whack trait.
And being
that's a horrible trait.
And being in these environments with all your jewelry on and all of these big cars for no reason is a whack trait too.
You should be able to drive wherever you want to drive. Right? You should be able to wear your jewelry and do whatever you want to do the way you want to do as long as you work hard for it, right?
No. Once again, you're discussing how things are. You're discussing how things should be, not how they are. There's a difference.
Well, when we come back, we take your calls.
But and unless we discuss how things actually are and not how they should be, we're not going to ever get anywhere with this, and we're going to keep repeating this cycle over and over.
800-585-1051. Hello, who's this?
Hey, good morning. This is Dwayne from Milwaukee.
Dwayne from Milwaukee, talk to us.
Yes, I wanted to talk about the PnB Rock situation. Like Charlamagne said, we have to address the reality of how it is and not how we wish it to be. And the reality is, had that young lady not shared the location, he may still be here.
But we don't even know if that's the reason.
Yeah, we don't know if
you
that's
know what
the
I mean?
reality.
But people assume it could have been he was in the hood. It could have been somebody who worked there.
I
It
wouldn't
could have been
blame
somebody
her.
that was there. It could have seen somebody that pulled them up.
The reason why I'm saying that is every time we share our location, we're putting ourselves in danger. People can go to your house because they know you're not there. And unfortunately for this situation, people can go where you are. And that's just simply the reality of the things nowadays. People are out there looking for
the reality is, it's not that she shared the location. The reality is he was in that location. That's the reality. The reality is he probably shouldn't have been in that location. No, it's no probably. He shouldn't have been in that location. It's not about her sharing it. Like, we got to stop that. I don't know why y'all keep blaming that girl.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Hello, who's this?
Hello.
Hello?
Yep, this is Isaiah Lee.
Hey, good morning. What's your opinion, brother?
My opinion is it's just stupid that people don't want to work. And, I don't know, people are just stupid. And, I don't know, I'm from California, I'm from LA, and people are just crazy out there. and like I know why they do everything. You know, like when you've been around them like all your life, you know exactly why they do it, and it's just like politics and all that crap.
I wouldn't just say it's California. It's happening everywhere. It's happening in New York. It's happening in Florida. It's happening in Chicago. Man. It's happening in everywhere.
It's nasty out here.
It's nasty out there. And you know, like I said, it's we got to move to a position where we can protect ourselves and make sure we're safe. Hello, who's this?
Hello.
Hey, what's your name?
Oh, yo, my bad. Yo, I got that Jay-Z play. Yo, I love how y'all just just play a whole Jay-Z verse. I love that.
I just noticed that yesterday. We don't even play Lil Wayne and Rick Ross verse. It's just over.
And it's still 4 minutes long. Had a good verses too. They had good verses too. But it's hope, baby. But so anyway, I want to talk. Where's Charlamagne? Charlamagne.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Charlamagne, you want to talk about why Envy feels like we should be able to walk around with our chains on, but you feel like, oh, we can't because in certain environments we have to protect it. But the reason why we got to do that?
Why?
Because of niggatry.
Okay.
That's why. That is why. And I feel like you be making excuses for niggatry a lot up here. No. To blame it on the government, to blame it on white people. Black poor people don't have this, so they got to do this, that, and the third. Bro, these people want to do that. Whoever killed PnB Rock, he probably feel he got a badge of honor or something.
But why? But
on the street operate.
But let me ask you a question, my brother. Are we talking about how things, should be, or are we talking about how things actually are?
Oh, no, we're talking about exactly how things are. The reason why I got to protect myself when I'm walking around in the street at night is because of niggatry. It's not black people, it's the N-words.
But so we not debating nothing. And you agree with me? I'm telling you, I'm sitting there telling you that I'm telling you that situations like this, we got to discuss how things are, not how things should be. And as long as
all right, so let's address that problem. We already identified that. I'm saying let's address that problem, the niggatry.
Listen, regardless of what you call it, you know what I mean? If I tell you that there's a lack of opportunity and income, a lack of employment,
it's not a lack of opportunity. There's no such, bro. I live in New York City. There's plenty of opportunity.
That's not true, Ken.
I'm right here.
That's not true.
Angela is a New York ambassador for the New York City Library. She can tell you all the resources just in the library right now that you can get if you're trying to find ways to help yourself out there. And you can't help nobody that don't want to help themselves.
That is very true. But my brother, don't act like these people in certain communities suffer from a lack of education and suffer from a lack of knowledge. They don't have that information. Not saying that they can't go get it, but they don't have it.
All right, bro.
Thank you for calling.
Like I don't know why we so quick to blame ourselves for positions that we were systemically put in.
No,
we're acting like black people were not systemically put in these positions. Like the lack of opportunity and income, the lack of education, the lack of employment wasn't systemically designed that way.
But that doesn't give anybody the right to kill somebody over a chain.
It doesn't give them the right, but you can understand those are the ingredients for a recipe for disaster.
I can never understand somebody killing somebody over a piece of jewelry.
I can never understand a brother being in the hood with all that jewelry on that don't need to be there. I can never understand a person.
That's not against the law.
It's not against the law, but why? The same way y'all say I'm making excuses, y'all be making excuses too.
I'm not making excuses. I mean, if a man works hard, he should be able to do what he wants to do and drive where he should be able to, and not somebody want to take his life over a piece of metal.
We're the only people who think like that. Anybody else that got something to lose knows that they can't be in certain environments, they can't be around certain things, and if they are going to be there, they're going to have the proper things in place to protect them. If you can't afford to protect what you have, then you can't afford to have it.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking PnB Rock. He was killed in L.A. yesterday, robbery for his chain, and we're just discussing it and talking about it. First, let's just send, again, healing energy and condolences to his
whole
family. His girlfriend, his child.
And stop blaming his girlfriend
that's so
for
dumb.
Sharing a location, okay? Because the truth to the matter is, from everybody that I've spoken to in L.A., he shouldn't have been in that location to begin with. I know ruthless hood dudes who don't go over there, from what I was told yesterday. So it's not about her sharing the location, it's about the location, period. And he could have got lined up by anybody in that Roscoe's.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, this is Monaco.
Monaco, good morning.
I'm calling from Jersey.
Good morning, Monaco.
I totally agree with you, Charlamagne. It's like these artists gotta held some type of accountability. Like California's the mecca of robbery. These artists go out to California all the time, flashing their jewelry and stuff. We lost Pop Smoke out there. Sauce Walker just tried to get robbed a few days ago. It's like this is a normal occurrence that goes on in Cali. So why would you want to go to a spot where artists is over and over and over again robbed for their jewelry and walking around public like it's Disney World or something?
But I also feel like a lot of times people get comfortable, right? You move to certain areas like LA, it's sunny, it's nice, you see nice things, and people get comfortable.
But you know the type of culture that's going on out there.
But people get comfortable.
I mean, you should never get that comfortable the way you sitting in Inglewood in a Roscoe.
You know, when I was there last time, I was staying at the one hotel, and I was going across the street to just go get something from Pink Dot, and they told me at the front desk, don't go across the street by yourself.
That's real.
And I was like, all right, I mean, I'm not from here, so I'm going to listen to what y'all have to tell me.
But also, I think people get comfortable when nothing ever happens to them, right? Because they don't have anything.
Well, he just said somebody tried him the week before, too.
Yeah, but he didn't get robbed. It's the difference when you have a conversation. Because if he wanted to get robbed, they would have robbed his ass. But when you don't get robbed and a gun is not in your face, when that happens, you move differently. No matter who it is. You talk to any artist that ever got into that situation, they move militant because they never want it to happen again. Like Fifth, shout to 50 Cent. 50, we all know 50 got shot, 9 times?
9 times.
9 times. Fifth moves differently.
That's right.
Even if you think 50's by himself, he is never by himself because of that situation. It's just what it is. And I guess, people do get comfortable.
And that's why I said, if you're going to be out there like that in areas like that, hire the proper security. And I'm not talking about the homies. I'm talking about Israeli-trained former police officers who really know how to handle their business.
Hello, who's this?
How you doing? It's Lamar.
Lamar, come on and talk to us.
Good morning. Yo, honestly, I was sitting here thinking, because I had one train of thought, but then I changed my mind, hearing y'all. I think we just need to accept this part of the culture. Like, death is part of life. And I'm thinking, like, in the rap culture, it's just part of it, bro.
Yikes.
We talk about all the, drugs. Of course, there's haters. We talk about haters, and everybody's raps talk about they talk about haters. You know what I mean? So it's part of the rap culture. So we just need to accept the fact that death is just part of rap. You know what I'm saying?
I can't accept that.
I'm gonna tell you this, my brother.
I can't accept that.
I think it's part of trauma. You know what I'm saying? And my man Resma Minicum says all the time, trauma in a people decontextualized over time starts to look like culture. This is not our culture. Sadly, it's not. This is our trauma, and we're projecting our trauma on each other. That's what this is.
And according to documentaries, hip hop started from negative things. So obviously it's going to trickle down into worse. And then we had hip hop, which wasn't really rap. We had hip hop, which was fun, rap, fun, music, from disco, whatever. But then rap came along, and then that's where it kind of like threw all the whole trauma thing. It was trauma, poetry with our trauma. But then it just, ended up being glorified into like negative glorification. And then now we got to just take what we got now, which is.
I can't accept it, brother.
Yeah, and I don't think hip hop started from something negative. I thought they was out in the park and they were making break beats off of old records, and that's how hip hop was created. And then, throughout the years, people started talking about their lives, and a lot of our lives was coming from areas from struggle, and that's where it came from. But it didn't start from negativity and beefing and foulness,
Yeah, I can't accept it because in my heart of hearts, I know that we can and should do better.
As people, but that has nothing to do with rap or hip hop. As people, yes, we need to do better. But the hip hop culture is, I'm not going to separate it from us, but it's its own culture. You know what I'm saying? There's our people, there's other types of people in hip hop, but hip hop is its own culture. And in hip hop, it just so happens that, there's death that comes with it.
I think we all look at things differently, right? Like, somebody called earlier during Get It Off Your Chest, and he was like, when I see somebody with a nice car or a nice crib, I feel like they flossing on me, right? We talked about a story a couple of weeks ago. I think Asian Doll was in the club, and the girl was like, yo, I just bought a chain, and her chain was bigger than mine, so I wanted hers. We have to change our mind frame. Like, when I see somebody doing better than me, first of all, I applaud it. And then second of all, I look at them because I like to see people doing better. Like, the reason I follow Swizz, shout out to Swizz, today's his birthday, happy birthday, Swizz. And I follow Timbaland and Hove and Diddy and some of those people because I like to see the moves that they make. Tyler Perry, because it encourages me to work harder, encourages me to do the right thing.
It's also Tyler Perry's birthday.
No, so, hey, happy birthday, Tyler Perry.
Who the Tyler
So
Perry?
we have to look at how we look at other people. We shouldn't look at them as our competition. We really should be looking at our people as brothers and hoping that they can help us get to that next level.
And once again, you're discussing how things should be.
Correct.
And everything you're saying is absolutely true, but you can't have it both ways, because the reality is success breeds envy and jealousy too. Same way that y'all think that y'all inspiring people, yes, y'all do, but there are some people who are jealous and envious of you as well. And you cannot have one without the other, period. They go hand in hand. Same way you inspiring somebody is the same way you making another person jealous and envious. They both go hand in hand. And if that's what you're going to do, you just got to deal with the consequences of the actions. That's it.
Well, I pray
that's the consequences of your success.
Well, I pray to God I inspire more people to work hard.
That's all you
and
can do,
to
brother.
buy real estate and to get into their mental health. And I hope that we inspire people to do the correct thing more than the other side, because at the end of the day,
you can't pick and choose though.
You're right.
You can't tell somebody whether to be inspired or be jealous and envious. And you got people that'll walk up to you and shake your hand and tell you that they're inspired, but the whole time they plotting on you.
That's true.
So the moral of the story for me is, man, once again, situations like this, we have to discuss how things are, not how things should be. If you're operating from the perspective of how things should be, then these things will continue to happen, and you're setting yourself up for failure, because we have to start moving and responding to these situations based on what we know to be true, not what we want to be true.
All right. Well, again, rest in peace to PnB Rock, and condolences again to his family, his friends, his girlfriend, his child, and his loved ones. All right. We got rumors on the way, Yee?